Alright, so Q's question is, what are some low mana cards that you should get for death? Because you haven't really built up that Splinter. Let's take a look. I would probably say some of the best values are going to be in a modern format, just because of the value, but let's not limit it to modern. Let's start there. For low mana, for death, I really like the Crypt Beetle here. If you look at the Crypt Beetle, if you're playing at silver or gold, at silver, you're going to get two shields, 3 health with the shield ability for 3 mana. For like 12 to 15 mana battles, this is a really good tank to base to start with. It's pretty cheap too from a cost perspective. The bases are selling for 5.5 cents per base, so it's not very expensive. Its weakness is magic, so you'll want to kind of know your opponent, and if you have, for example, a scenario that's low mana that doesn't have earth or water, which are probably your primary magic splinters in silver levels and even gold level, then you can definitely consider using the Crypt Beetle as a tank. That being said, you can also consider a Shadow Snitch as an off tank. It's 4 mana. It's not a fabulous card at 4 mana. I would like it better if it was 3 mana, but if you look at the Shadow Snitch at silver, you're going to get 2 attack damage with 6 health with reach. So, with your summoner, let's say you're using Thaddeus, you're at 11 mana with your Shadow Snitch and your Crypt Beetle. So that's not terrible. Riftwing is a must, in my opinion, for low mana matches with death. Just say we'll limit the discussion to pretty much 4 mana or less for your cards for this question. Riftwing is so good because even at silver, you're getting 4 speed with flight with 6 health, backfire, and scavenge for 4 mana. So this card is an MVP in my mind. It can be used as a tank, an off tank. It can be used as backline sneak protection. It's fast. It organically gets health. It can cause damage with backfire. Its main weakness, again, is going to be magic because it doesn't have phase. But it's just a really, really good card. I definitely recommend picking that up. It's not too expensive still. It's definitely reasonable. Right now, 13 cents a base. So that's definitely one to consider. We won't talk about Silent Shavi because that's 5 mana. It's a really good card, but let's talk about 4 mana or less. Life Sapper, I do like. You see me use this all the time in Equalizer battles, and just generally, it's not bad. For 3 mana at gold, actually at silver, you're even getting 2 magic damage with Life Leech. It's a little weak on health, but it's got Life Leech, so if you put it in typically the 4th or 5th position, is the best spot for this. You can build up health over the course of the battle and increase its survivability. So I like the Life Sapper as well. Soul Strangler, I don't like it at silver as much. It's got 3 damage for archery with 2 health, but that 2 health is so fragile for this card, and because death usually doesn't have a good way to put Protect out there, you really can't guarantee this card is going to stick around to use its 3 damage more than once with its 3 speed. So I would probably not include that as a must-have for low mana for death. Yeah, so for Chaos Legion death cards, low mana, Riftwing, Shadow Snitch, Crypt Beetle, and Life Sapper. If you look at reward cards here, ones that I would think would be the best value, let's take a look here. We sort by mana cost. Shadowy Presence is good, just 1 BCX. I just have it, it's kind of expensive. It's $8 for 1 BCX, but getting the 1 mana cost for health is pretty good. If you need an off tank or even a very cheap tank for 1 mana, it's good value. So I consider maybe 1 BCX of that. Let's see what else is good for low mana here. That's reasonably priced. You gotta like the Venari Bonesmith. I use this card all the time. If you've seen me on stream. At silver, you're getting poison, life leech, 4 health. It's only 1 magic damage, so it's susceptible to void tanks, but you can still do damage to void tanks with the poison. So Venari Bonesmith, definitely you want to get that to max level for either silver or gold, depending what you play at. If you look at Untamed and Dice for death, low mana battles, I like Maggots here. It's solid. Like at level 4 in silver, you can do 2 damage with Opportunity for 3 mana, which is not bad. Ideally, you'd want it to get the Scavenger at gold for level 6, but it gets pretty pricey there. If you just want the 2 attack damage with Opportunity, you're looking for 30 BCX. So that's roughly, what, $24 for that card? What I did is I went the gold route here. If you look at the gold route, to get the 2 damage, you just need 2 BCX. So regular foil is $24. If you go the gold route, you can actually get the same stats for $26 in a gold version of the card. So I'd recommend, if you're looking at Maggots, to go with the gold foil version. It's just a better value. Let's see what else. Undead Badger, probably good as well to consider. So you're looking at 60 BCX to get to 2 sneak attack damage. And it's a little pricey being untamed. And that's going to cost you $80. So maybe not the best use of funds, honestly. I'd probably, if I were to spend the money, I would want to go with Uraeus, a neutral card, reward card for Chaos Legion, for 3 mana, and use Uraeus with poison and sneak over Undead Badger. Hey Acto, welcome to the stream. And then Death Elemental comes free as a starter card. It's just really expensive, but it's a really good card for Death. But you're going to pay $5 a base right now. And if you can get it up to 25, it's got Silence, Snipe, and the magic damage. So it's a pretty good support slash, snipe card for 3 mana. It's just going to cost you $125. So I probably wouldn't recommend that for most players coming into the game, just because of the cost. Let's see what else at 4 mana or less. At this point, from a cost perspective, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have an Undead Priest, 1 BCX for the weekend. cost you $15 roughly for a 2-mana weaken. And let's see. Skeleton Assassin and Twisted Jester. 1 BCX bases maybe, just for the flexibility. Again, Skeleton Assassin not a must-have, but it's a good 3-mana sneak card to have. You're looking at 1 BCX, it's only $4. It gets 2 attack damage at 12 BCX, so that would be roughly $48, which is probably too expensive for a 3-mana sneak attack monster. Again, I would go with Uraeus. And then I'd probably say 1 BCX of Twisted Jester is worth considering. 2 archery damage with snipe with 4 health. You're looking at a cost of like $10 for that card, and I'd probably recommend that as an option. So yeah, looking at neutrals for the low mana cost to consider for death, that's a reasonable priced cards to look at. We've already talked about Uraeus. Uraeus is a great card. Max level silver, you're talking 20 BCX, 2 damage, sneak, and poison. And that's going to cost you, for 20 BCX, roughly $12. So not bad at all. And really, really strong card. And then I would also say another low mana cost card to consider for your death team in a neutral is the Spirit Hoarder. You only need 1 BCX of this, so that's going to cost you roughly $12. And the reason why I say the Spirit Hoarder for death makes sense as a low mana cost option is because, thank you for the follow, James, appreciate that. The reason why I say Spirit Hoarder is good for death is because death doesn't have a heal option other than Corrupted Pegasus, which is very expensive. Spirit Hoarder gives you, just for 1 BCX, that triage option for death, which helps with survivability. And anytime death can have some additional survivability, it's good. They don't really have a protect option either. I mean, you can use Tower Griffin here for protect for death. It's kind of expensive, but it's something you might want to consider. You need level 5, so 40 BCX to get protect in neutral here, and that's going to cost you $160 right now, which is not cheap. That's why for $12 you get triage through the Spirit Hoarder, a much more cost-effective option for survivability for death. And those are the 2 cards I probably recommend from a neutral perspective to look at supplementing your death team with for low mana, Uraeus and Spirit Hoarder. So to summarize, for our tanks for a low mana death team, options that are affordable and efficient would be a Crypt Beetle or a Zenith Monk. For your off tank, you have options of your Riftwing or your Shadow Snitch. For your DPS, your options would be a Venari Bonesmith or a Life Sapper. Additional DPS options would be Uraeus or the Skeleton Assassin, as well as Maggots or Twisted Jester. And finally, support cards would be Spirit Hoarder and Undead Priest. So I hope this discussion and information has been beneficial. If it has, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more timely content around Splinterlands, and until next time, keep stacking those stats.